Okay, in this video now we are going to go over adding the equipment as well as readings and completing a full fire and ice. So we have our sketch, which is fully done now, and now we're going to add our equipment. You see here, if you hover over this is an air mover for A. So we're going to click this, and now we are going to place our air movers in the basement. So we had 4 air movers in the basement, and then we had 1 dehumidifier, which we'll just throw right in the middle. Now we're going to hit the select and move shape. And now what we're going to do is we're going to click off. And now we're going to right click in this area. And we're going to connect the room. And this will be connection 1, which would also be considered dry chamber 1. And then we're going to right click on the closet, and we're going to go to connect as well. And we're going to connect it to 1, so it will be the same color, as well as the boiler room. The boiler room, nothing was dried in it, but we're going to add it anyway because we had 1 dehumidifier. Remember, when you put a dehumidifier, that counts as 1 chamber. If you have an additional dehumidifier, it would be acting as a second chamber if it was another separate room that was divided by walls. So now we have all our equipment in and our locked room. So now we're going to left click the air mover, and we're going to go to place. And we're going to do that with each piece of equipment. What this is doing is putting the equipment on, saying that it's running. Because now if you click it, we hit stop, would stop the equipment. So now that we're here and everything is done, we're going to go to our next area, which is readings. So under the readings, you have unaffected area readings, exterior readings, room readings, and dehu readings. So first thing we're going to do is go to unaffected readings, and we're going to click this add unaffected area reading 3 times over. Since we had 4 days of readings. So if today at 4 p.m. we said we finished, that means we would have had to start on Tuesday the 15th before 4 p.m. So our first reading is going to be the 15th. And for this video, we're going to say that this drying started at 2:30 p.m. And then on the next day, we're going to say it was the 16th and that we went there at 10 a.m. And all we're doing is clicking the box. I'm pressing down on my arrow key, then I'm coming over and I'm making up the times that we went to the house to check. And once I have them in, I'm pressing enter, which is now moving. And then our final day, we said we finished drying at 4 p.m. So now we have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And you see our days, and these are the days you're going to need to remember because they have to be uniform across the board on every day, stating that we went to the home and we checked the readings to make sure that everything was dry in the home. So we're going to unaffected area. We're going to click because the basement was affected, excuse me. So unaffected area we can say is on the main level. So the temperature, normally temperatures here, we're going to say that it was 70 degrees and the relative humidity was 43. Everything needs to be under 15 in this instance. So we're going to say that it was 14 on this day. Then on day 2, we're going to say that the temperature went up a little. The humidity went up a little. And the floor, we're going to say went down. And now, again, we're making sure that everything just has these numbers that are showing. Now, if you're there every day going through the job, so that is perfectly fine if you're testing every day and checking the readings in every area of the home. But normally, with the unaffected area, you don't really need to. This is just, again, a protocol for the insurance company to make sure that the work is getting completed correctly. So we copy those numbers there. And there we go. Now all our unaffected area readings are done. All of those are made up, but this is what normality in a person's home should be. temperature and relative humidity wise, as well as the walls, the floor, the ceiling should all be dry. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to go to exterior readings. And we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to add 4 days. So remember our first day, we wrote these down. So we have 10:15 at 2:30 p.m. And then we have 10:16 at 10 a.m. Double clicking here and just moving the date down. Then we have 3 p.m. on the 17th. And then today, the 18th, we're going to say 4 p.m. was the final day of drying. So now for exterior readings, where you need to go is you go to the internet. And we're going to go to a website called Wonderground. Wonderground is one of the only companies that give history of temperatures and readings. So the homeowner was located on Long Island. So we're going to say Stony Brook to act as a general basis for the entirety of Long Island. And then we're going to, when we're at the website, we're going to go to history. So now here's our history. We're going to click on October and we're going to know our first date that we did something was on the 15th. We're going to go to view, click that. And now we're going to go to the time. It's 2:30. So 2:56. Here you can see the temperature was 57. The humidity was 39. So I'm writing that down at this moment. 56 and 39. Then we're going to go to the 16th, which we had at 10 a.m. And you see 9:56, 52 degrees, and 54 was the humidity. This is the only number that is researchable that you can look up to see if the mitigation project manager was lying or if they were just fabricating numbers. This is the only area that can be cross-checked because of the information that is available on the internet. On this day, we said 3 p.m., so we're going to say 2:56. We had 55 degrees temperature, and the humidity was 55. And again, write all these numbers down. It will make life a lot easier and things move smoother. And then we have today, the 18th. Remember, make sure it says 2024 or whatever year we are in when you're doing this. And we'll scroll down and we have 3:56 p.m. was our last reading. We said 4 p.m. So our temperature was 66 and the humidity was 26. So now we can X out of this. We're going to go back to our FireNIce. And we're just going to enter those numbers. The numbers we just written down. So we have 57 and now I'm hitting tab and I'm going to 39. I'll do tab again to bring me here. And then tab again. And now I'm just entering tab, 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 tab. Brings me back here. And then I'm going 55, 55. Remember, I wrote all these numbers down and I'm tabbing again. And 66 to 26. So now we have our unaffected area. We have an exterior readings. I'm going to go to File and Save again. Now, it's asking us to put in the placements of the equipment. So after you add equipment, it wants to know, here's readings, under placements, we need to put what kind of air movers did we have. So we had centrifugal. And we're going to put all of that in for all 4 air movers, as well as the dehumidifier. Our dehumidifier was a Phoenix R125. And then our start date, if you remember, would have been the 15th at 2:30 p.m. And now that needs to follow every job. Now what we can do is up here, equipment start time, we're going to make to the 15th at 2:30, press enter, and now it fixes every single one for us. Now after we stop the equipment, we'll be able to fix the stop time to 4 p.m. But more on that on the next video as we go over the last 2 areas that are needed as we save again, which is on the readings part, which would be the readings of the framing as well as the concrete alongside the dehumidifier readings. More of that on the next video.